Could I have a roll call, please?
Belsley.
Here.
Blunier. Dobb.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Herman.
Here.
Kaufman. Here. You have a quorum, sir.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have two presentations today. The first one is a presentation from the VFW.
Steve Opperly from the Morton VFW. I'm the adjutant out there. I'm here asking for the village contribution for the 4th of July fireworks of $5,500, which is then matched by the Morton Park District. Any questions? No?
Is that still enough money, or we increased that $500 a few
You
years back?
increased it $500 last time, I believe.
It was $5,000 last year.
Yeah.
The first time.
Yeah, well, the cost of the fireworks went up, and all of it goes to the cost of the fireworks. So,
Okay.
and which I got here for Joe is the invoice, so he can see what it is. And were you supposed to get this?
I can deliver it.
Okay.
That's going to be July 3rd. Is that
July
correct?
3rd. Yes, we always do it in case of a rainy day. We do it the day before. Plus, it allows more people to come to it because of so much conflict of interest. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all there.
All right.
Under my section, it shows the first item was a request for contribution of fireworks, but we haven't written that right, so I don't think we can actually vote on it. What I would like, though, is if I could get a general impression from the board that we are going to approve this at the next meeting, that would give the VFW an opportunity to go ahead and do what they need to do.
If it's on the agenda, why can't we vote for it?
You can't vote for it because I didn't say we're going to vote for it.
Oh, okay.
So in general, is everybody going to be okay with this? Okay.
Thank you.
That's kind of unofficial, but at least you know.
Our next meeting is after the fact, you know.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Next, Chief.
Thank you, Your Honor. A couple of meetings ago, I was here to honor one of our retiring officers, a retired Sergeant Patrick McMiniman. During the course of that time, our Police Fire Commission has been conducting a testing process which entails a written test, an all-day interviewing process with an assessment center, a panel, and then also evaluations from the superior officers within the department to conduct this sergeant's promotional list. With that in mind, the Police Fire Commission, as of yesterday, appointed Officer Jonathan Johnson to the rank of sergeant, and he's here today to be sworn in by our village clerk. John's been with our department for 6 years now. He served in a capacity as a field training officer as well as one of our CERT team members, and that's a tactical team member. He's been an inspiration to the officers that he's worked with, and he's really had a fast-track career. Accompanying him tonight is a couple of other officers and to support him, as well as his family members, his father and his wife Emily, who, as we know in the police, our wives are a great benefit to us. Our supporters, they get to listen to us complain and let us know everything's going to be all right. So anyway, with no further ado, I'd like to bring up John so that Joe can swear him in.
Face this direction, please, and repeat after me. I, Jonathan Johnson,
I, Jonathan Johnson,
having been appointed to the position of police sergeant
having been appointed to the position of police sergeant
for the Village of Morton, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois,
for the Village of Morton, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the position of police sergeant
of the position of police sergeant
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
I wonder if we could have Jonathan's dad stand up, just so you guys know what the motivation is here. Thanks, Dad. Are there any public comments? Would you like to make a public comment?
I wanted to discuss this, the memorial. Of course, you guys know what I was going to talk about, because we talked about it briefly, but last time I was here, excuse me.
You need to give us your name and address and for the
Dick
record.
Ruffini. Who? Dick Ruffini, R-U-F-F as in Frank, I-N-I, 1101 East Pole Street, right here in Morton. I am a World War II veteran, non-combat veteran, but I am a veteran. And what drove me to come here is this article that was in the paper. I was surprised to see it because the last time I tried to submit a name, I was informed that the program wasn't up and running yet, and on the Clear Blue Sky, I see a bunch of names. Names that I don't know who submitted them. I don't know if you trustees submitted these. I'll be very frank. Ridiculous. Serendipity? Does anybody here know what serendipity is? And if you don't, look it up in a dictionary. Okay? That's the first one that caught my eye. Shaded waters. This is a memorial. It's not an RV park. Okay, guys? Pumpkin Plaza. That's a good one. I know this was declared a pumpkin capital for the state of Illinois by the governor a number of years ago. And if that was so important, why haven't you got a pumpkin boulevard? Huh? What? No answer. I mean, why not? Pumpkins are so important that you want to put it in a veterans memorial? What are we going to call it? The Pumpkin Veterans Memorial? I don't think so. You have, and I just read about him out in front, although I got to admit I looked him up on the internet. Don Roth, a former mayor, and a gentleman by the name of Bob Wright. When I read that, it just, to me, the first thing that comes to my mind is cronyism. If this mayor was so good, why haven't you named a building after him, not a veterans memorial? Same with the other gentleman. And I was pleased to see that Mr. Beasley and Miss Herman here at least have the right idea that the Veterans Memorial should include veterans. Now, the next thing that caught my mind is the archway. Morton's Veteran Memorial. No, I can't buy that, at least not me. And like I say, these are my own opinions. I belong to the American Legion. It's nothing to do with the Legion. These are my opinions. It isn't Morton's Plaza. It's a Veterans Plaza. Why would we call, if you want to identify it, don't we know where it's at? That's like, I just heard recently, Morton's Walmart or Morton's Farm and Fleet. We know where this memorial is going to be. And frankly, the word plaza has double meanings. And the first one that comes to my mind was, geez, a group of stores? I don't like plaza. And that's just my opinion. Again, I want you to think about it. And what is the hurry in picking out a name? My gosh, we've waited 71 years to come up with this memorial. It won't be ready for a year, and I have a suggestion. And I want you to consider it. And I would think that what you would want to do, since it is a Veterans Memorial, why doesn't your committee sit down with the committee that we have at the American Legion, and let's all discuss a name for this memorial? Because a memorial, if you look it up in a dictionary, is a site or a monument established to rekindle memories of an event or places and things that happened. I would suggest, like I say, have a meeting with the veterans. Get their feel on this. Get their input on this. I don't see anything wrong with that. And like I say, I think Bruce Brown did a tremendous job on this. And unfortunately, Jennifer Daly isn't around anymore because she did a tremendous job. And the parkway that's going to be sitting in the end of in here outside of the memorial, I like to think of that as the veterans' gift to the city. And my own name for the park would be Veterans Freedom Park. Like I said, where are we meeting right now? Think about it. Freedom, that's what this hall is. That's all I have to say, gentlemen, except maybe it would be real nice if when you get your bids and you accept your bids, that you put a little caveat in there that says, can we use all the materials made in the United States rather than from China? That would be great, wouldn't it? City builds a Veterans Memorial with U.S.-made products. Thank you for your attention. That's all I got to say, guys. You've had my opinion. Like I say, it's just my opinion, has nothing to do with the Legion. But I think the VFW and the American Legion should be given the opportunity to give some of their input into the name of this. There's no big hurry for it. Like I say, you've been waiting 71 years. I guess you can wait another year. Thank you.
Are there any more public comments? Is there anything on the consent agenda that anyone in the audience would like to remove? The consent agenda includes the minutes from the June 1 meeting and the bills. Is there anything that any of the trustees would like to remove? If not, could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Could I have a second? Second. Bill's a second. Any questions? Call it, please.
Belsley?
Yes.
Blunier?
Yes.
Dobb?
Yes.
Hare?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Kaufman?
Yes.
I have 4 items. The first one is to discuss the VFW's request for a contribution to fireworks. Unfortunately, the way it's written, we can't vote on it, but I think we've given Steve a sense that that's not going to be a problem. The second item is discussing the name of the plaza. We've been asking for names in the newspapers and in different ways for some weeks now. This group has reviewed those names. We tried to consider every name that was sent in. I've polled the trustees, and it would appear that the one name that seems to come to the surface is Memorial Plaza. I'd like to have somebody propose that, this isn't a resolution. I think we can just have a show of hands. A show of hands if you like Memorial Plaza. Raise your hand. If you would rather wait and do something else, don't. So I'll call for raising your hands if you approve of Memorial Plaza. It's Memorial Plaza. Tell them to change the drawing. Next item, resolution authorizing intent to fund the Morton Economic Development Council. At a previous board meeting, some of the folks thought maybe we should just give the EDC money 1 year at a time. Others thought maybe 3 years would be better. It would allow them to plan a little bit better. We also had some who thought it might be a good idea to have some report on performance. How many businesses, what's the name of the businesses? And others didn't feel that was a bad idea. It was more like, do we really need to do that? In my opinion, the EDC is too important to the city to fuss around with this too much. We've got to make sure that they've got their funding. And so I constructed what I think is a bit of a compromise proposal. The intention of this proposal is to pay for 2 years rather than 3. There's a few specific measures on here that have to be produced every quarter, and that would be the number of new businesses by name for that quarter, increase in employment by the name of the employer for that quarter, and several others you can read if you want to go online concerning how many contacts were made and retained. Could I have a motion to proceed with this? Can I have a second? Sam, second.
Who moved?
Randy. Any discussion? Call it.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
My last item is Resolution 815, resolution authorizing a settlement with Michael Levine without any admission of wrongdoing, and I think this is very important to mention. We have settled with Mr. Levine. The decision to settle was made by the majority, or the major contributor, that's our insurance company, or Illinois Municipal League. $80,000 goes to his attorney. $70,000 goes to him for emotional distress. $50,000 for compensation. The good news is, out of that $200,000, Morton only has to contribute $25,000. Hats off to Tom Davies. I wish he was here tonight to tell him that he kept our participation in this very low. Did a really great job. Could I have a motion to approve this settlement? Tom Dobb, second. Belsley. Any discussion? Call it, please.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Thank you. Village clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
village administrator,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
chief of police,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
corporate counsel,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
director of fire and emergency,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
director of public works.
I have several items tonight, Your Honor. First is item A, which is resolution number 06-15. This is a resolution authorizing an agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation. This is for the Detroit Avenue improvements. This basically sets the funding, which they will pay not to exceed $1.866 million. I am still working with IDOT and Tazewell County on some cost share for them on portions of the project. But this will be the agreement with IDOT to be able to move forward.
Motion,
So moved. Second.
second, Sam. Any discussion? Call it, please.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Next item is item B. This is resolution number 07-15. This is a resolution authorizing an agreement with Illinois Charter Incorporated, and it's in reference to the discharge of domestic waste. Just to summarize, I put the hard copy agreement in front of you. They're a bus charter company. They have 6 buses. They operate out of off Cortland, out of Reisinger's buildings back there. And this has been going on for several months. Originally, we weren't weren't going to approve this, but the amount is very small. It's a good operating business, but basically, this allows them to discharge the domestic waste from the buses into a tank that'll be underground, and it'll pump into our sewer system. What this agreement does is put a lot of information in there where we have control over that. If they were to cease using this, it would be removed by them. and also controls the amount that they can discharge per month. There are also some fees in there to sample. They'll be treated similar to an industrial user, whereas we'll sample for BOD, suspended solids. If they exceed that amount, then they'll be charged just like industrial users. So I think this is a minor thing that we intend to look at the ordinance some more and figure out how to change a few things even in there to allow similar types of situations out there.
Motion,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Second by Ginger. This is not a very elegant business. It isn't going to bring in a lot of money, but Craig did an awful lot of work on it to get it right, and I think these are the kinds of things you have to do if you want to bring business to town.
Yeah, and this is it's a very unique business. They do charter buses for, not only the Bradley Braves, the Peoria Chiefs, also our own Morton High School band, the drum corps that travels around. They'll be out 60 days for that. Most times they will discharge their waste prior to coming back. So they'll be discharging per bus, max 40 gallons a bus, so very little. But this will be a huge relief to them to be able to do this.
Any other questions? Call it, please.
Herman.
Yes.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Next is item C. This is acceptance of bid for the downtown parking lot in the amount of $582,623.85 and award of contract for same to C&G Concrete Construction out of East Peoria, Illinois. I will add that there have been discussions with the board and the mayor that this amount is not appropriated or budgeted yet, but we've talked about next month appropriating this out of the business district funds. And I'm asking when that time comes to appropriate $700,000. That will add, contingency, landscaping, and inspection like we do on similar projects. This amount, there were 8 bidders on this, and this was significantly lower than the engineer's estimate of $700-some thousand. So I think we have a really good price in here. I've worked with the contractor to verify that this is a good bid, and they're ready to go, and they're pretty confident that they can still get this done.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Call it, please.
Kaufman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
And lastly, one item is the hazardous waste event. I don't have that on here, but Trustee Kaufman mentioned it, so I thought it would be a good time we had that event Saturday from 7:30 to 3:30. I'll let Craig add to that, but I think it was a success. I think we had a lot less volume than we had before, but I think at about 8:45 per Officer Sweezy, there was no line out there, and we were cycling them through. So I'd like to let Craig add a few more comments to that.
Yeah, we had some lineup all the way to veterans at 6:40 in the morning. They were lined up early, but they got those through. The longest somebody had to wait was about 45 minutes. Kudos to Officer Sweezy for our department and Tony McMurtry. One of the key things was the signage, all the signage that was going around, as well as the promotion of this on village website, papers, and et cetera to get this out. There are estimated about 475 vehicles came through, and one of the things that we learned the last time, even though the number of vehicles was within the range that they predicted, the load per vehicle was about 3 times the amount. They didn't see that here, and one of the other things that they saw or didn't see was e-waste. There wasn't a lot of e-waste, and I think the promotion of that Grimm's would take that any time was beneficial to us. I'd like to thank the school district for allowing us to utilize the parking lot there. Everyone involved on both the public works side and the police department thought that it was a very good location. We had but the center bi-directional lane that we used, as well as the eastbound lane, and we had plenty of lane usage to get the cars up, and nobody had to wait a whole lot of a great length of time. all officers and public works employees that were working got a lot of kudos and attaboys for the smoothness of the event. Just one concern on a business in the area, but once they found that we had people at the intersections that would let their vehicles get through, that seems to calm any concerns that they had. So over and all, it was an outstanding event, and the citizens were well received by the way it went.
Anything else?
That's it.
Planning and zoning.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Belsley.
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Nothing this evening.
Trustee Blunier.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Trustee Dobb.
Nothing this evening.
Trustee Hare.
Nothing tonight.
Trustee Herman.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Trustee Kaufman.
Nothing tonight, meeting over.
I will entertain a motion.
Aye.
to go watch the Blackhawks. Dobb. Who seconded that? Do we need to call this?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?